Hello and welcome everybody to a discussion about cavity back irons. And this isn't that. This is not a cavity back iron. Let's talk about the history of golf real quick, very briefly. Originally, if you roll back the clock to the origins of golf in the 1400s, 1500s, the predominant material was wood. Fruit wood heads, and there would be, was it beechwood and ash, whatever woods they had available, they would use for the shaft. And they'd use the hard, knotty fruit wood for the heads. And that's what it was like. And then people started going to blacksmiths and requesting irons made out of iron. That's why they're called irons these days. And so you saw, the wealthy could afford these clubs. All the way through, from origins of golf all the way through like 1700s. We're seeing more and more of these. Right, all the way up to the beginnings of the Industrial Revolution. But even this iron, it's a James Spence from the early 1900s, this is warranted hand forged. So even then, in the 1900s, they're still forging these by hand. Hickory shaft. So no cavity back so far, but this is what irons were like since they began making irons hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So for hundreds of years, this is an iron. All the way through. Steel shafts, is that going to change anything? The MacGregor catalog in the 60s was full of stuff like this. Wingback designs, blades, not exactly cavity backs. Maybe you could argue there's kind of a little bit, but the material is just as thick on the side, so it's not going to give you that perimeter weighting. So it's technically not a cavity back. Very interesting. All the way through the 60s. So, you'll, 1400s, 1500s, the origins of golf, 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, more than halfway through the 1900s before we see the very first cavity back iron, which is the product of Carson Solheim. Famously made the heel-toe weighted putter. And this is the genesis of the cavity back iron. We started in 1969 with the K1, the Karsten 1, and this is the first cavity back. It gets a little bit bigger with the Ping I. The Ping I2 expands a little bit more, the Ping Zing. What really changes? Well, in 1993, a company called Cleveland comes out with this idea of vibration absorption, the VAS, vibration absorption system, to improve sound, and when you change the sound, you change the feel of the club. So it's supposed to absorb the vibration and make it sound less clacky. And apparently it worked because people liked it. To a point where, in the late 90s, early 2000s, Ping adopted the idea of putting dampers in their clubs. Weighted damper right here to dampen the sound. Pretty cool. So even Ping adopted that. Okay, so that's one step in cavity backs. Well, what else? That's pretty much it. That's it. And anyway, they still do it today. They kind of take it to extremes in the 2000s, obviously. One of my favorite examples of just overdoing it is the Fusion. This is borderline like hollow body design, but they just put this huge, filled the cavity with the damper in there. However, here's my question. On that note, dampen the sound of the cavity. What else is there to do with the cavity? It's kind of been explored. So has it changed much in the last 10 years? I'm making this film in 2025. I feel like no, it hasn't. Maybe not even the last 20 years. This was 2006. So almost 20 years ago, they're just filling that all up. So what are the new irons? Well, we have hollow body. That's kind of the latest craze. And our cavity back's dying in favor of the hollow body designs. Like this, the P790. Which would you rather have? A cavity back or a hollow body design? Does the cavity back craze end here? Is it bookended with hollow bodies and blades? Are we at the end of the cavity back era? That's my question, my concern. I don't think they'll ever disappear completely, but they're falling out of favor and they seem to be, to me, less and less popular. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As usual, a huge shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. I just accept general support. Another way you can support this channel is by visiting my Amazon shop. I'll put a link in the description below. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. Thank you everybody for watching. I'm looking forward to reading your comments. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe. I am The Vintage Golfer.